All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss Kate.
Thank you for joining. For those on Zoom, thank you for joining us once more today on our weekly Monday training. And those on YouTube, we also appreciate your views. Welcome once more to today's training. And the topic we are going to be looking at is understanding our target customers. First of all, I would like you to know that today's training is not going to be centered only on what we do here at Adbond Harvest and Homes. For every business or product or service, their major aim is to get new customers on board, because customers are the ones that actually keep a business selling. So when you understand your target audience or your target customers, it aids you a lot of stress. It helps you focus on the particular people who you are targeting, the particular people who you intend to solve their problems. Because for every product that you create or every service that you render, the target is to actually reach out and solve people's problem. So understanding your target customers will actually help you know how to serve these customers better, because now you know them, you know their needs, and you know where your service or your product can actually come in helping them. So that takes us to the opening quote of today. Oh, the aim of this training, sorry about that. The aim of this training is actually to highlight the benefits of understanding our target audience. Simple ways to define your target audience. In the digital space, that's where a lot they use this target market, target customers, target audience so often, because that's where they focus their strengths when they work. A digital marketer will not just run an ad without trying to know the people in the sphere that is trying to project to or that is trying to communicate to. So there's always need for you to sit back, probably as an entrepreneur, you are into sales of services, or you even have products that you sell. You have to sit back and understand who these people you're trying to sell to are, to be able to understand the best way to communicate with them. Thank you. That takes us to our opening quote. Our opening quote is from Peter F. Drucker, and it says, "The aim of marketing is to know and understand the market so well that the product or service sells itself." When Mr. Philip this morning saw this quote, when Mr. Philip saw this quote this morning, he was like, what does this really mean? Okay, I picked this quote because I believe that when you've been able to establish your brand or your product so well to your target audience, you will not be the one chasing them so much anymore, in as much as you still have to run ad for incoming customers. But retaining the old ones will not actually be an issue. They will keep coming back, especially when your services are good, because you understand the way to communicate with them. When you communicate right, they come back on their own. You don't have to go chase them anymore to come patronize what you do. So that product or service actually sells itself. It's just like, let me use data for an example now. We currently we do a lot of things online, and when our data gets exhausted, we don't need MTN to send us a message to go buy or to go subscribe again. So that's with the audience already understand the product, and the people rendering the service already know that we are in need of that service and will always come for it. So that takes us to the meaning of target customers. This training was actually simplified to the barest minimum. Let me put it that way. These are the type of people that you aim to sell your product or service to. You know, sometimes when we ask people, who are the people that you intend to sell to? I don't know, maybe they see it as, maybe they see it as flexing muscle or something. They be like, well, I want to sell to everybody. I would like to make you understand that that is not the best answer. As an entrepreneur, if you try selling to everybody, you will end up selling to nobody. And that is just the truth. Because your product or your service will not appeal to everybody. And when you keep doing the same thing over and again, you end up being frustrated in trying to market that product or service. So there is actually a niche that you have to fulfill their need or you have to take care of their problems. You understand? So you have to find where your service or your product is actually needed. That takes us to method used to define your target audience. One is demographics. We have some questions under it. Who are they? Who are the people you're trying? Who are the people you're trying to sell to? Who are the people that needs this your brand? The next one is, what is their age range? Now, take for example, you are selling adult diapers. You should be able to know that the age you are targeting, the age as in the range of people you're targeting. You can't be selling an adult diaper and the major place you go to sell is at the maternity ward where they give birth to babies. You end up going bankrupt because the babies don't need the adult diaper. You have to bring the baby's diaper for them to be able to patronize you. So, what are their age range? These people that are buying from you, in as much as we know that, okay, we all are humans, but according to our age, we reason differently, we think differently, we see things differently. The way a child from age 5 to 10 will see a particular thing, that's not the same way a child from age 10 to 20, from age 10 to 15 will see that same thing. The same thing goes, the range continues like that. So there is a particular way you serve a particular audience to their satisfaction. Remember, you are the one trying to sell to them. They are not the one as in forcing you to actually sell to them. What gender occurs more among them? You should be able to tell that the people that comes to patronize your service or your goods, how much male do we have coming to buy that product and how much female do we have coming to buy that same product. When you are able to get the genders that actually resonate with your product, that actually interact more with your product, you will be able to know that, okay, these are the major people that my product or my service appeals to. The next one is, what is their profession? This one can be in the higher, it depends on what you are doing. If you're actually targeting a particular sector or a particular profession for them to buy from you, what is their income level? This is where a lot of us, we have to focus. You cannot be selling something that is worth 10 million naira and you are actually advertising to a student, to an SSC student. Where do you expect him to get such money? So when you are able to check the income of your customer, how are they earning? How would they love to pay? That helps you know how to put your service or your product to actually suit them. The next one is psychographic. This one has to do with psychology. How does these people think? That is just the major thing. How do they think? What is their interest? What are their values? What are their likes and their dislikes? The way a teenager will react to something is not the way her grandparents or even her parents will react to the same thing. What will give an excitement to a child might actually come to an adult and be like, well, it's normal. You understand? So there are different levels of satisfaction across various range. So how they think really matters. You should know how your audience think. Okay, I think I was discussing with people at the office on Friday and I was like, take yourself back to when you were a copper. If this was presented to you, would you accept it? That's how we should focus our mindset to be able to sell to the right people. And in this era of this digital era where a lot of things are done online, quite a number of people, the activities are actually online. By men checking what these people actually post or what they click on to like or love, you'll be able to tell that, okay, this is what these people actually likes. That takes us to the next one, behavioral pattern. How does these people behave? I will use young adults. Let me use youths, where the youths are full of strength, they are energetic, they want something that is like happening like quick. They don't want you to come and start dulling them with one boring stories and all of that. So even when you want to go talk to these people, you have to try and reflect them in the way you appear. When you're trying to go talk to, let me say, a youth or a core member, and you go all talking, all serious looking, chances are that it is just few people that will be able to give you their attention. And even when they are giving you their attention, probably it is out of, let me just respect this person. But when you go looking like them, they'll be like, oh boy, how far now, that kind of a thing. You understand that we are on the same page. How do they consume the media, online or offline? This your target audience, these people that buys from you. How do they get information? How do they get ads? Is it that they go online to check? Because currently now, most times when you want to buy something, you run online and go and be like, you want to check review on that product, you want to see how far the product is doing. But if your mother wants to buy the same thing, or your grandmother wants to buy the same thing, they'll be looking for the nearest shop or the nearest store. So these two things are not the same. If your audience are people that are focused online, send your ads online, do your adverts online, let people create awareness online. But if there are people that are offline people, like our parents, our grandparents, that still likes to look at the papers, to read, like even currently, I don't think you'd still buy papers. Or they may do, but not as much as those that want to check the news online. You understand? So when they are offline people, you prefer to do your ad via magazines, via newspapers, and all of that. That way you'll be able to resonate with your audience. That takes us to the next slide that says benefit of understanding your target audience. What are the things that you gain when you are certain that this is the particular people I want to sell to? After going through the behavioral pattern, the psychographic, the demographic, I didn't want to add geographic because internet is making the world one currently. So you can actually be anywhere and access anything. So when you understand this whole, their psychology, their demography, behavioral pattern, you will be able to write a short note of, okay, these are the particular people I am selling to. And the moment you are able to establish that, okay, these are the people I am selling to, what are the gain, the benefits? Number one is maximize your time, effort, and resources. When you know that this is the particular place I am going to, you don't need to start scattering your money everywhere or start just wasting your effort. You just focus your energy on, for example, now your this thing is, maybe you're selling baby food. You just have to focus your energy on those that are pregnant, those that just gave birth, those that are nursing their children. You just know that this is the place that I am focusing. But if you are selling baby food and you want to focus to all women, both married and unmarried, you want to do advert to them, you end up wasting so much resources and with less thing to show for it. Now, help you know the best type of adverts to make. When you know the people you are selling to, if for example you are selling to the funky people, the youths, you know how to make your ad so funky. You add the music, those things that they want to hear. That will also help you know the best type of adverts you're giving to them. Help you focus on potential customers. You see, for instance, you have 20,000 naira and you want to promote your business, and you now focus your effort on the whole bodies in Nigeria. Like you want to sell to everybody in Nigeria. You find out that it's not going to work that way. It's not like they will not see the ad. They will see with the ad, but it might not actually be effective. But when you are able to target that, in Nigeria, the people I want to sell to are the youths between the age of 18 to 35. You now put your effort on just those ones. You'll be able to easily get conversion. It might not be in cash at that time, but you have a lot of people that are interested in what you are doing. Why? Because you have done your assignment previously. You know how your target audience, they work. Now the next one is help you focus on, okay, I've said that. It helps you define marketing plan and strategies. When you know the people you want to sell to, the strategy you want to use to sell to them will be easy to define. Not that like, oh, I want to sell to Gbogbo. How are you going to even structure an ad for Gbogbo? Because different things resonate to different people. So you will not be able to actually focus on the exact people that needs your product or your service. It helps you communicate in the right way. Yes, when you are looking at people that, okay, this is what I can tell to this person, the person will understand. Okay, just like, take for instance, you want to advertise a virtual job, and you not go and meet my mom at home and tell her that, Mama Chidima, like this, I want to give you a virtual job. First of all, before you even finish answering the questions she will ask you, you are tired, you are exhausted, you just have to go. So you have to like know the people you're dealing with to know the best way to communicate with them. But when you take the same virtual staff and go meet a core member on the street and tell, okay, there's a virtual job open, they already know what virtual is, because they have a phone, they know money can be made online, they know people can work online and still get paid. You understand? So that's just how it is when you're marketing something. When you don't communicate in the right pattern or in the right way you ought to communicate to a particular audience, you don't get the right result. We moved on. Now we are going to the main thing of the day, the main cocoa of the day. Let me put it that way. Adbond's target audience, especially for our viewers online. I think you would have heard of it maybe once or more, that our target audience are mainly parents buying for their children, core members, undergraduate. But let me make something clear. It's not like outside your target audience you cannot sell to other people. You can, but it is easier to sell to your target audience. It is easier to sell to your target customers than it is to sell outside their range. So parents buying for their kids, these are, okay, you want to play on their emotions, you want to make them understand what securing future space can actually do for their child. If they give birth to a child today and they buy a property for that child today, in 10 years time, in 20 years time, that property would have doubled or even it would have tripled the price that it was bought. So that is why the reason why they should consider buying for their children. Even from the way I say, it's very, very easy to understand and assimilate. Now the next set of people we have are core members. You know, the youth service is a 1-year program, yes, but after that it looks like life becomes clearer, like you're now in the outer world. This is what you want to do now, you understand? So you can engage them. You can engage this core member, especially now that they are paying them something a bit reasonable, that why not take little from the money you are being paid to secure yourself a future space. And by the time you are ready to build, that agro to home property that they bought would have actually developed into becoming home. That's a core member. Then the undergraduates, they also are target audience because they are young people. You notice that I didn't just come here and put young people. Young people cut across, okay, from 18 to 45. They are all young people. Now, but when you group them like this, you know where to focus your energy. It's not like people that are in the corporate world cannot buy. They can buy, I just didn't add it here. These are just examples of people that we can sell to. Now, when you understand your target audience, do not allow your target audience limit you. Because what they are interested in, someone else might also actually have interest in it that is not in your target audience. We are taking old people to side that be like, oh, this one, that one, they complain. And we are still taking old people to that same side and they be like, wow, you guys are doing great. I wish someone thought of this earlier. You understand? So the way people react to things actually differs. So when you know your target audience, doesn't mean that other people who are outside this range cannot also benefit from your service and your product. Now, when When people that falls under your target audience, maybe you check them in the physically, you check them, their age wise and all. There are some people that looks like they've aged, but their minds are still very, very young. We have a lot of old people buying properties from us because they see the future. They are not the ones that just want to criticize what you're doing. Oh, this is not the way we used to buy and all of that. So these people that we mentioned here are people that can actually pay for this property in installments, or they can also do it outright. That takes us to the recommendation. First of all, for you to know your target audience, you have to check the people your product or service resonates with. That is the people that you didn't have to go through so much hustle and hassle to sell to. That's the best way to check the people that best fits what you are doing, that the people you are serving. You don't need to drag them too much. Once you tell them that, okay, this is it, this is it, this is it, they find it easy to understand and they follow. Except that person does not have money. Because I've never marketed or told any core member before that you can secure yourself a future space by paying in installments, little by little. That they will not like, oh wow, it's a great one. They might not have the money, but then they understand and know what you're actually bringing. From this audience, you'll be able to draw out who your target audience is. That is after you've done your demographic, your psychographic, behavioral pattern, geography, and all of that. You'll be able to draw out a template of who my target audience actually are. That brings us to the closing quote that says, customers buy for their reasons, not yours. What this means is that for a customer to buy something from you, let's take bread, for instance. When you go to buy bread, you are buying to consume by yourself. You're not buying because the company needs to make sale. No, you're buying because it is fitting in, it is solving a problem, the problem of hunger at that particular time. And that's why the same thing goes to every other product or service out there. People are buying because this is important to me. People are buying agro to home lands because they know that their future space is actually secured with Adbond. They are not buying because Adbond needs to make sales or no. Though you have to pitch it to them, you have to let them understand that, okay, this is the use of it. But when they've gone in, they've articulated, they've reasoned it over and again, they just know that this is the best thing for me to do. So they are buying for their own interest. That's why you need to study who these people are first and know how to sell to them. That takes us to the end of the training. So I would like to say a very big thank you to everyone who was able to join us today. Those that will be watching us on YouTube, I say thank you. Those on the Zoom, I say a very big thank you to you. So if you've learned something new today, or you have a question or a contribution, kindly put it in the comment section below. If you think that there are some target audience we should add to what we do at Adbond Harvest and Homes, that our agro to home properties can actually resonate with, kindly also put it for us in the comment section below. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us once again today. Thank you.